Grand Theft Auto 4 is just one of those games I find any reason to hop back into. It was a revolutionary game for its time, and had some of the most popular protagonists in gaming, graphics that still honestly hold up really well today, a great story, and you already know, glorious ragdoll physics. But in 2009, Grand Theft Auto 4 would become a true complete experience as it would receive 2 amazing DLCs. Last month we took a look at the first ever Grand Theft Auto DLC, The Lost and Damned, that starred Johnny Klebitz and the Lost MC. Go check that video out when you're done with this one. But it was only half of the amazing DLCs released for Grand Theft Auto 4, and today we'll be taking a look at the Ballad of Gay Tony, the final DLC to cap off our GTA 4 DLC series. But before we get started, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and I have so much great content planned for you all, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Also be sure to join our Discord server, Bril's Lair. It's the best place to keep up with me and the community, but you already know what to do. I won't hold this up any longer, let's get right into it. The Ballad of Gay Tony DLC is the last half of an amazing addition to the already legendary Grand Theft Auto 4. While you don't play as the fan favorite and beloved Niko Bellic, the new set of characters that is introduced in this DLC bring their own value and are worthy additions to the world of Liberty City and GTA 4. If you're unfamiliar with the DLC, if you've never played it before, or just even need a quick reminder since it's almost been 15 years since its release, in the Ballad of Gay Tony, we're officially introduced and take over as Luis Fernando Lopez. In contrast to our 2 previous protagonists, Niko Bellic and Johnny Klebitz, Luis has already made the journey from poverty to wealth. He was a former gang member of the Northwood Dominican drug dealers, but after a short stay of Rikers, he decides to change his life for the better, so he decides to get out the streets and into the clubs once he starts working for Tony Prince, or, of course, better known as Gay Tony, the proprietor of Liberty City's largest nightclubs, Mason at 9 and Hercules. Tony takes Luis under his wing, and after being his bodyguard and eventual business partner, the two help each other succeed and they live a good life financially. I mean, a place like this in New York would cost a fortune now. Now, Luis is personally my second favorite protagonist out of the main 3, Niko being the GOAT of course with no explanation needed, but Luis tends to be a reserved character who's always level-headed most of the time, and he does show that he cares for his mother and friends based off on how we see him act towards Mr. Santo because of his menacing behavior towards mom, and even though he decides to help his friends in these gang situations despite telling them to go legit. But Luis also has a sharp sense of humor and won't hesitate to confront someone if he feels like it's necessary. His calm, collected demeanor really juxtaposes Tony and his personality. Plus, I got a Dominican bias going on here, so he could have literally been one of my cousins. All jokes aside, while we play as Luis, the story is named after Tony himself for a reason, as our main character of the story is actually a side character of his own. At the focus of our story are the 2 clubs in which we manage, and if you can't get in the club in real life, then this just might be your best bet. Much like the clubhouse in The Lost and Damned, there are various activities you can do in either club. Here you can do your typical club activities like take shots, or you can just do your job and manage the clubs, or if you need to let loose for a little, dance in what can be a fun mini game. But while things may seem all fun and cool, the reality of the situation is, Tony is in a lot of debt, and debt to the wrong people, and like I said earlier, Luis is the guy who's there to bail him out. You can expect yourself to be in wild situations in order to try to pay off Tony's debts, and this is where we begin to be introduced to a lot of fun and interesting supporting characters throughout the DLC. Like Luis ends up collaborating with the Ancelotti mobster Rocco Pelosi, as well as the eccentric Maury. He also helps out Yusuf Amir, who's an Emirati real estate developer interested in purchasing Tony's clubs, and he does this by stealing an attack helicopter, using it to kill multiple arms dealers, stealing an armored personnel carrier, stealing freaking subway trains. Like, this is GTA at its finest. And you can't forget your old friends from your old gang, Armando and Enrique, and you also helped them out of their several botched drug deals. So Luis is trying to resolve all of these things at once, and it makes for a really interesting tale. The Ballad of Gay Tony also takes place during the same time as our main story, as well as the Lost and Damned DLC 2, with a few missions tying our 3 protagonists together, the main one being when Tony decides to purchase $2 million worth of stolen diamonds in order to resell them for more money, but in doing this, Tony gets his boyfriend killed, and the diamonds are lost when the members of the Lost MC, led by no one other than Johnny Klebitz, in an ambush attack. Tony finds the stolen diamonds quickly and arranges for Luis to intercept a conversation between Johnny, the Jewish mob, and Niko Bellic in order to retrieve the diamonds in what is a fun and hectic story beat. It's just a real nice touch that while all these stories are their own separately, they effortlessly connect and weave in with each other in cool and fun ways that makes GTA 4 and the episodes of Liberty City package feel truly complete. Personally, I've always said that, in my opinion, GTA 4 has at least the second best story and gameplay of all the Grand Theft Autos, and that is with both of these DLCs included. There's just so much value that you get from this game now that when you find the time to play, you're in for a real good time. And like in typical GTA fashion, the hilarious commentary and jokes are very colorful to say the least, and I'd share some, but I'm not trying to get demonetized here. But you know, no one is safe from catching strays and being made fun of at GTA, and it's just something that I hope they don't shy away from too much in GTA 6. But the story's not the only thing to highlight. Let's take a look at some of the new additions that come along with this DLC. You'll see almost a dozen new cars around Liberty City, and there are definitely some worthy additions, my favorite being the F620, the Buffalo, which is a lot of fun to drive, and the Super Diamond, because I'm definitely looking forward to my own Rolls Royce in the future. Other new vehicles include new bikes, boats, police vehicles, helicopters, and there's many more that I can mention, but personally, I just feel like the cars and vehicles are a real nice touch in these DLCs since they freshen up the gameplay with a bit of new toys. Speaking of new toys and freshening up gameplay, you know there are gonna be some new weapons as well, and these don't disappoint at all. The DLC provides us with access to the M249, or better known as the Combat MG now. There's also an Assault SMG that completely melts, and an automatic shotgun, which puts the game on easy mode. They've also added sticky bombs that get introduced to you early on some missions, and overall, there's more than enough new to play with here. I wouldn't be doing this video any justice either if I didn't showcase the Underground Fight Club. Now this is an exclusive DLC mode that sounds exactly like you'd expect it to be, so if you need some extra cash because you're too broke to buy a section at the club, then this might just be your best bet. As you start to win more, your opponents will start using weapons like bats and knives to really try to get you up out of there. But if hand-to-hand combat is something you really enjoy, then this is definitely the place for you, so spend some time, throw some hands, without having to worry about the cops giving you problems. Y'all know we love us some GTA 4 on this channel, and for it to have damn near 2 equally amazing DLCs is something rare that doesn't get pulled off often. It was only a few years ago that I experienced these DLCs for the first time myself, and there's not many games that I have the urge to play through after beating, but GTA 4 is just one of those games that I find myself going back to every now and then, and this video was just my excuse to play through it again. The Ballad of Gay Tony is truly a worthy addition to a game I've seen a few of you guys call a masterpiece in some of my previous videos, so it's a true testament to how great of a DLC it was. And if you haven't played either of these DLCs, I strongly encourage you to play them, especially if you love GTA 4. But definitely look out for the next Steam sale for these, because this is a game that's always on sale, and you're getting 3 extremely it's like you're getting 3 games for the price of 1, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed. But that's gonna wrap up this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on the Ballad of Gay Tony DLC? Did you play it when it first came out, or if you just got into it recently? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, also be sure to join our Discord server, Bros Lair, to keep up with our community, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more gaming content like this. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and all support is greatly appreciated. And if you haven't checked out these 2 videos on the screen now, I'm sure you'll love them. But I'm out of here, y'all. Stay safe out there. Peace.